When you get Xfinity Internet, Flex is included free, and finding what to watch on TV is now as easy as popcorn. This is a way better way to watch.
Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to get a great offer on Internet and add Flex for free. Restrictions apply.
So, talking about sensitivity, I want to talk about something that kind of happened last night and how to deal with it in relationships. My other half and I, we got off last night. We got in a disagreement, and it was mainly due to my sensitivity towards something that happened in the situation. It was just really my sensitivity towards things and me taking things wrong. And of course, we're in this environment, so that momentum's moving much faster right now.
You really feel it more, don't you?
Yeah, it cascades.
When you get off, when you've really been on, it really feels off.
Yeah, it really gets off fast.
Yeah.
And, I was saying, we're up here, but now it's like we're down, we're in this thing. And it's whenever we get, we have a wonderful relationship, and we really do we work things out with one another. And we always know that there is no bottom to how deep things can go. It just can get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah,
and
that's what happens with brilliant people. Brilliant people remember all the details.
That's, I totally do that. Yeah. And so this is a question about when you're so I was in this place last night, and I'm like, lay new pipes, and I excused myself for a second. I said, I'm just going to go get some air real quick and go take some time, because how do you, when you're in that moment, especially with someone you love,
you have to do something to break the cycle.
Right, and it's trying to break that cycle in those moments. But when you're in a relationship, it's really hard to. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I went and took that break, and we discussed things more, which, you're trying to climb out of this now. And here we are here, and we're trying to do the best we can do to do that. And there's some relief, but not a tremendous amount of relief. And I actually ended up, we kind of just took some space from one another. And I ended up going up to the roof, and I laid up on the shade lounges up there and looked at the stars and put your meditation on. And it was funny because Bob Marley was on at the same time singing Can This Be Love? And it was a mashup like you've never heard. And I very much felt you there at that time. But my question is when you're in this position with your lover or someone who you care about deeply, and you're kind of just trying to crawl out of the sand, and the sand just seems to, is this and I try to meditate at that moment and stuff, and I felt some relief, but not a tremendous amount of relief, but I just really wanted to drop the whole thing and reverse this momentum and be back up here. What's the best thing we can do when we're in a relationship like this and we're in these positions with our loved ones and we disagree? Because it happens to everybody. I know it happens to every single person.
Well, most important is to recognize that all that has happened is some vibrational discord. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's not a reflection of who she is. It's not a reflection of what's really happening. It's not a reflection of your relationship. It's only a reflection of a momentary vibrational situation. That's all it is. So diffuse it by just saying, it's just a moment. It's just a moment of imbalance. So that's first.
Okay.
It's just a moment. We're making too much out of this. Because what you were doing is, of all the times and all the places that we should be at our very best. In other words, you were doing the opposite to that. Rather than diffusing that, you were doing the opposite of that.
No, I said those exact words. You know that too. That's what I know. I did. I said, of all the places, of all the, we're supposed to be up here, and this is way down here, and I know.
So it's that judgment, which is just part of the momentum. But then the next important thing, so that's the first thing.
Okay.
Be easy on myself and be easy on my lover. Okay. Then the second thing that we would do in a situation like this is remember that there is a momentum that is having its way with you. And most important, this didn't just get going in that moment or in that day. This is some residual momentum that something triggered.
Right.
So it feels like you got blindsided by dormant or latent momentum that just got triggered again. Well, that's a good thing because your vibration is where you last left it. And there's nothing better than having something flare up and now through your new eyes, evaluate the offness of it and strike a new vibrational pose. You said, I want to lay new pipes that get me more easily to where I want to be. Does that make sense to everyone? And in that spirit, it's I'm falling out of an airplane. I'm at 30,000 feet. I have no parachute. Right. Just relax. It'll be over in a little bit, because that climbing out that you were describing is adding momentum. Self-judgment, self-blame, feeling of inconsideration toward each other. In other words, there is no bottom to that, as you discovered. And so the quicker you can, we would offer these words. Now, those of you who have partners who are here together, who hear these words, as you offer these words, because you heard them here in the midst of all that you've been feeling here, they will be good trigger words for you to soothe things from now on. We would say, I love you too much, and I love me too much to continue this momentum. I love you too much. I love me too much. I love us too much. I love us too much to continue this momentum. No judgment about the momentum. No judgment about how it came from, because it's all legitimate. You didn't make it up. You get to want what you want. Mm-hmm. But you got to be a match to what you want to feel good. You can't ask behavior from another to get what you want. Right. You have to be a match to what you want to get what you want. And what you discover with enough opportunity, with enough who are unwilling to be conditional lovers or play that game, which you each were for each other last night. Now what you're doing is you're saying, I'm not going to change in order to soothe this. You're going to have to find your soothing on your own, and you do. And then, you may not like this, but we really do. In your alignment, in your practiced chronic steady alignment, newly found on that topic, even if there is no behavioral shift, it doesn't matter, because you're in alignment. You see how interesting it is to be with someone. In a lot of relationships, in fact most of them, someone is more dominant and someone is more agreeable, and it works pretty well to a point. But there is not one of you who does not have, at the very core of your powerful being, the poignant, heartfelt, God source, understanding and expression that can only be expressed perfectly with these words: you're not the boss of me. So anytime you're looking for some sort of behavioral shift, that's what they want to scream at you. And often do. But we want you to just change those words to, our love for one another is so deep that let's just not continue this momentum.
So we both did the best thing we could do at that moment, because that's kind of how it ended, was like us both going off to our own space. And I know she went and meditated and I went and did my thing. Yeah. We just took the space, and because we know we always do. We do love one another, and that we always try to work things out at the end. Because it just totally, We want agreeance with one another all the
Another
time.
thing you want to say to each other on a regular basis, I love you so much because you're helping me work the bugs out of my vibrational dysfunction. And who better than you, who I know always loves me? You're helping me work the bugs out of my vibrational dysfunction, don't you? Doesn't everybody have it, and aren't you glad? And could you be alive? You were born into contrast. You were born into variety. You were born to expand. You can't expand. Do you think that you can have this lovely, lovely, lovely relationship and just get there and stay there? You can't do that. There has to be constant more reaching and finding, reaching and finding. And this is the most important message that we would give to anyone about any relationship. You have to make your relationship with your connection paramount, so much more important than anything else. Because once you achieve that, you've got it all. And your partner, of course, will come along. You know too much about that. Both of you know too much about that, you see.
We do.
There's a sort of fear in some of you that goes something like, but Abraham, if I achieve perfect alignment with my vortex and I prepare a grid that is so perfect that my partner is not a vibrational match, then what will happen to our relationship? And we say, it will get better. It will get better every time. There is no downside to alignment. Because in alignment, that's where all your leverage is, it's where all your love is, it's where all your power is, it's where all your clarity is, it's where all your stamina is, it's where all your vitality is, it's where all your energy is, it's where all your balance is, it's where all your humor is, it's where everything is. Everything's in that alignment. Everything is in that alignment, you see. You weren't mad at each other, you were mad at being out of alignment, period.
Absolutely.
It's not your fault, I'm out of alignment.
Right.
I'd like to give you the credit for it. I would like to give you credit for me not being able to do the impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to blame you for me not being able to do the impossible. Find a balance and stay there forevermore. That's like asking the wire walker, get out there over Niagara Falls and don't move. Don't move. He would say, but there are wind currents. I don't care. Don't move. Compensate for nothing. Just stand there, immovable. Don't move. He has to move. He moves a lot. He moves really, really, really a lot. A lot.
Right.
Really, 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 really a lot as different currents are coming. That's why he's so good at not falling into Niagara Falls. You see. Good.
Thank you. And I love you, baby. I love you and I love everybody here, and this has been awesome.
When you get Xfinity Internet, Flex is included free, and finding what to watch on TV is now as easy as popcorn. This is a way better way to watch.
Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to get a great offer on internet and add Flex for free. Restrictions apply.
Hey, do you love a good story? Great. Then you got to check out the #Storytime podcast. Each episode brings you the craziest, creepiest, and cringiest stories from YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and beyond.
My story is about the time that I was broken up with at the 9/11 memorial. Twice.
Look, the internet is a dumpster full of stories, and I, your host, Will McFadden, dive in headfirst, sift through the flaming trash, and bring you nothing but treasures. Listen to all 21 episodes of #Storytime now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.